Jack here, JBF Music and Guitar Lessons, back with some signature lick goodness for you. You can call him Darrell Lanzabbit, Diamond Darrell, Dimebag Darrell, or just Dime. Don't matter what you call him, you always slayed it. Three licks in ascending difficulty, touching on key areas of Dimebag's playing, breaking them down in such a way that us mere mortals can hopefully gain a slither of the guy's badass attitude-laden playing style. The tabs are up on my patreon.com/JBFmusic if you want them. If you enjoy this sort of thing or the content I put out in general, please do let me know with a like and a comment. Both are really helpful for the channel as well as the visibility of this specific video. It means other people can search for it and find it much more easily. If you haven't already, feel free to give subscribe a click, do the notification thing. I'm sure you know the drill, all the usual good stuff, but yeah, let's just crack into it. The easiest of the bunch to kick off, I've got a workaround for a Whammy bar free version, so feel free to skip ahead to that if you want to using the timestamps. But for this one, we pre-dip the bar. It sounds like it's about a step to me, so if we're to play the notes here, we got a B, but we're coming into it from about, as I say, a tone below, so you want it to sound a bit like. Easiest way to do this is to play the B string and dip the bar until you get about a tone. Do that a couple times. Commit this to kind of muscle memory, you'll feel the tension in your forearm, and then just try and recall that when you're doing the dip. So like I say, pre-dip the bar by about a tone, hit the open string and return the bar to pitch. Hammer on that second fret, third, and then fifth. As a side note, I prefer to do this as a after the bar kind of dip and raise. Hammer on the second, then slide up to the third. I mean, the difference is so minimal, just whatever's more comfortable, go with it. And that just kind of sets me up a bit more nicely for the next bit when we've got... Because what you want to do here is just before you slide up to this fret, you want to dip the bar, so again roughly by a tone. Now this is a bit tricky to break down what we're doing, but you're dipping it, hitting the note, then kind of releasing as you slide. So I'll try and do that a bit more slowly. Dip, hit, slide, and release at the same time. So rather than going like we did before, we were doing the slide and the dip being released at the same time to get that. After this, we've got a little pull off, picking the next two notes. This is where you want to add in some of your Whammy bar vibrato. Pick the next two notes, letting them ring into each other, and we pick this final note and pull off. We round up this part of the phrase by sliding up to the 5th fret and picking between these 4 notes. Again, with a little bit of Whammy bar vibrato. So that part of the phrase. We hit this 5th fret again as we slide up to the 9th. Then we're picking these 3 notes, adding in the bar vibrato, this pull off, another 3 notes, more bar vibrato. It's probably a bit more authentic to release this note then slide back into it, so after your vibrato, you're getting rid of it, just sliding in from anywhere, it doesn't really matter. And then we've got this really kind of staccato triplet run. I like to hit this with much more of the side of my pick, so coming at an angle rather than flat, so by that I mean using the side a lot more, angling it so I'm coming down, because you get a lot more aggression, so it's almost on the verge of being like a pinch harmonic, you know, how you angle your pick to get that. But not quite there, you just get more of an attack to it. So we're picking those notes the same way, hammering these 2 on, then finishing on the 7th fret, again some whammy bar vibrato. So that's second half of the phrase. You'll notice I'm having my thumb over here an awful lot, and that's just to help keep the strings muted in case the whammy bar movement, the dips, sort of make them ring out like that. Okay, whammy bar free version here. The only real changes are that the dips become quick slides, and you're using vibrato from your fingers rather than the bar, so either gently bobbing them, or using a classical vibrato. It's probably going to sound a bit more subtle and authentic than the typical rock ones here, but as always, just adjust to taste. More of those vibrato techniques with a little eye up there. We're sliding up to the 4th fret from the 2nd on the G. You lose some of the legato here because we're not using the open B, so you could even slide down to the open string from like the 5th fret or something. And while it's the wrong direction, it has that similar quality in terms of note decoration. But after this, we hammer on like the tab says, then slide from the 3rd to the 7th fret where the bar dip would have been. The rest is pretty self-explanatory, so just try to keep the vibrato as smooth as possible, so let's recap that a bit slower. And you can exaggerate these slides as well if you want more of a... And for an example of how you might want to do the vibrato, so you can see I'm just sliding my fingers up and down. Same idea as we go up here. You could try the kind of more traditional, bending them up and down, but I think that's a bit more unruly. I think the sliding is a bit more in line with the subtle whammy bar work. And if we continue on in a similar way, and just finishing off the same. Alright, music theory time. First up, I want to look at the chords, which I think are the most important things here. I see them as an F sharp minor 7, an A add 9 with no 3rd, an E5, which is going to be an implied E major, a D major 9 add 6, which then goes to an A add 9 / C sharp. Now, that D major 9 add 6 could be a B minor 9 add 11 / D. It could also be an A add 9 / D with the 4th and the bass, also potentially a more complex chord or indeed a more simplistic one that I've just totally overlooked. But if we look at the verse, and this song is largely built on the changing dynamic, what we have essentially is the same chord progression. It's an F sharp 5, to an A5, an E5, a D5, to an A / C sharp. So that's why I'm going with that D to A move. Any suggestions, pop them below. So this is quite cool. Over the F sharp minor 7, because of the pre-dip, we're starting out in the flat 3rd. Essentially going up the scale, you know, 4th, 5th, flat 6th, flat 7th, and the root that we kind of do that dip into. And this is where we turn around and come back down. So flat 7th, flat 6th, 5th. Technically, we've changed chord on this beat to the A9, so really what we've done is landed on A's major 3rd. We bounce between this 3rd and the root, letting them ring out. Again, on the last beat of the bar, the chord changes, this time to an E, meaning when we go to this note here, that 4th fret, we've landed on a G sharp, which is E major's 3rd. Well, we're still holding down the C sharp and the B string, which is E 6th, so you get a wee bit of dissonance from that. When we move the shape up, to here, we're still suggesting an E add 6, but just a different inversion. We've got the root here, and the 6th up on the 9th fret. So although we're moving from here to here, we're still implying the same chord. This is sustained as we change to the D major 9 add 6 chord. Here Dime is holding the major 7th on this 9th fret, and the 9th on the B string's 5th fret. I bet you never thought there was a chord as jazzy and as spicy as this little nugget hiding in a Pantera ballad of all things. I certainly didn't. It's so jazzy that I kind of need two hands to outline what's going on here, but harmonically we got something a bit like this. If you want more jazzy laid back chords that you can actually play with one hand, check out those shapes with the eye up there. In reality, I think he's just stacking an A major triad, or dyad I suppose, over that D major 9 add 6 chord. If we look at these notes of E and C sharp, they're the 3rd and 5th of A major. The reason I say that is when we resolve to the A add 9 / C sharp, this somewhat tense dyad falls really neatly into place, and if I just hold those two notes, play a D under them, and then resolve it to an A, you'll hear a really nice bit of tension and release with the D and the A. And almost as if in an effort to make up for this lovely resolution, the next bar is pure musical dissonance. It's over the F sharp minor 7 again, probably one of the least jazzy chords we're playing over. We're going from the flat 7th up to the 9th, bouncing between this and the flat 7th an octave higher here, back to the 9th, flat 6th, then what would be the 5th. But at this point we've changed chords. We're playing over an A add 9. This is a C sharp, which is A's major 3rd, so it makes sense in terms of the underlying chord. We then kind of pivot down the scale, using the 2nd, again the 3rd, and then resolving to the root. The 2nd in particular works really well here because we're playing over an add 9 chord. The 9 is just the 2nd, but an octave higher. Very complementary. The chromatic descent is over an E, which here is really an E sus4. Dime is playing the 4th here, and the bass line even plays a 4th in passing to reinforce this. It's going something like... So the bass line's going root, 3rd, 4th, 3rd, and up to what would be the flat 7th. But at this point we've changed to D chord, so he's playing the root. Dime is going 4th, 3rd, flat 3rd, 2nd, flat 2nd, root, which is where we turn around. It's just like in the first part of the lick when we went up to the F sharp with the whammy bar but then came back down here. It's a really good way of outlining a chord. You start on one chord tone and then go up to another chord tone, and then you can kind of reverse your lick. It just really shows that you're confident with the chords you're playing over and you know what they are. Now we sort of change chord here, but because the solo is in triplets and the rhythm is just in kind of standard 4/4/8 notes, it doesn't have that much of clash. Also because this F is just in passing, when we land on the F sharp over the jazzy D chord, it means we've targeted the 3rd. A D chord, of course, being a D, F sharp, A, so we've landed on a nice chord tone. Jazzy D, that could be another potential nickname for the Southern Metal Maestro. Admittedly, pretty lame, but surely it's at least a little bit better than Dimebag Darrell. Okay, those familiar with the channel, shout out to the Lick Squad Elite, you guys rock. We'll likely have clocked the Paul Gilbert triplet technique here, more on that with the eye up there. But we're picking the first group of 3 notes, then just picking one note and hammering on the subsequent 2. I'd suggest starting on a downstroke and downward pick slant this bad boy, more in pick slanting with the eye up there. You might want to employ a little bit of like palm muting here as well, particularly over the picked parts of the runs. But yeah, you just do the same across the different strings. So you're going down, up, down, and then up, hammer, hammer, onto the next string. And the same thing across. When we get up to the high E string, we're picking it once, hammer, hammer, pull off, pull off. This note's in brackets, I think it's there, but it sounds like Darrell sort of breaks into it. So I'm going with a mini sweep, I'm going down on the B string, down on the E, then some more legato, hammer on, pull off, then pick this 15th fret twice, bending it at the second hit. You want to bend it up a tone. Okay, compared to the last lick, the theory here is going to be a bit anticlimactic. It's a symmetrical scale. If you're a Megadeth fan, you've probably heard Chris Poland using this trick, more than that with the eye up there. But yeah, the purpose is usually just to add in some dissonance, add in some tension. Guys like Poland and Van Halen tend to resolve the lick with it. Dime is just going for full-on tension here. The first bar here is over in E minor. We've got the major 7th, instant dissonance, the root, flat 3rd, major 3rd, which over a minor chord to my ears is pretty much the forbidden interval. The 4th, flat 6th, 6th, flat 7th, flat 9th, and then have a 9th here, flat 3rd, 4th. You can see it's a total mess in terms of conventional music theory, especially when compared to the sophisticated note choice from the first lick, but again, it's all just part of his arsenal of noise. We switch to playing over a C for the second bar, and the dissonance doesn't let off. Flat 7th, major 7th, 2nd, flat 3rd, 3rd, 5th, bending the 5th up to the 6th, so a tone bend. As if to say, nope, it's too nice a sound, you're not having any more of this 5th, I'm hitting you with a 6th. But he is a cowboy from hell after all. Opening line from the solo and walk, I'm just in E standard here, I think the original's in D, but to save you retuning, we'll just play a tone higher. Kicking off with a double stop. For more on the most common double stops you'll come across, check out the little eye up there. But yeah, we're doing a tone bend on this G string, slowly raise it to pitch. It sounds like we're on the neck pickup here, it'll give you that kind of creamy dissonant runge, more so than the bridge. You get this real... It's almost like a kind of ring mod or kind of bit crush type sound going on when you bend the notes. Some vibrato on this 15th fret. Now this really highlighted to me just how composed Dimebag solos are. There's sort of 3 peaks, or bends if you want to think of it that way, in the studio version, and also pretty much every live version I saw as well. As a bit of a side note, vibrato has always been pretty much one of those spur of the moment type things for me, but guys like Dimebag and Marty Friedman seem to do it really consistently, and I suspect that's a key component to why they sound so polished and together as musicians. None of that kind of risk it for a biscuit or sharp or wild vibrato that haunts my playing to this day. I try my best to get rid of it, but that's why I love doing these videos. It's a lot of groundwork, a lot of learning, but man, I learn a ton of great stuff from doing them. Anyway, my revelations aside, after that vibrato, and just to reiterate what I mean there, instead of just like going out randomly, you want a really controlled 3 kind of peaks, right? If you want to play it as authentically as possible. But after that, we've got some pretty fiddly playing. The way I've had the most success of hitting this is hitting this 12th fret with a down, then going up, down, up. So sort of inside picking if you want to think of it that way. Then I'm doing a pull off, and I kind of think of that as one chunk. It's a group of 6 triplet notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so fairly intuitive. Now I might be mistaken here, but it sounds like he picks this again. I've certainly seen him hammer on these next 2 notes in live clips, so there's definitely live ones where he's gone So as usual, just go with whatever you find the easiest. It's going to sound pretty similar, especially in a band mix, so there's no need to make this type of playing any harder than it already is. So I'm going down, hammer, up, down, pull off, up, pull off, pull off, then repeating this pattern. It's split across the bar, but hopefully that overlay will make it a bit more clear. Like I said, the stuff on the G string might just be played with one hit and followed legato, so you could go... As I say, just down to your preference. You could also sweep through the E and the B strings, so you could go kind of like down, hammer, up, pull off, up, pull off, pull off. Just a few different paths for you to try out. But yeah, after we've done that twice, we have a semitone bend with vibrato on this 14th fret. So here, I think he does 4 peaks, as I've called them before, so essentially 4 mini bends. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is from the resting position, so the note not being bent at all, to essentially a semitone higher. So rather than it being a really wide 1 up a tone, he's really just kind of hinting at the flat third there. Pick the next 3 notes and put a little 3/4 tone bend on that 15th fret. Pick the next 2, little pull off, a full tone bend on the 15th fret, and I think this one has a 5 peak vibrato, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And again, we're basically bending from this kind of standard position all the way up to a tone bend. Now the last peak here, as I've called it, is a little bit rushed because he's off to the next bit of the solo, but I mean this is really the minutiae, so I wouldn't worry about nailing it too exactly unless that's your thing, but I think it's really worthwhile covering these things, because what I would take away from this is the most important thing is doing the same thing consistently, even with small things like vibrato that a lot of the time we kind of take for granted. Okay, theory time. The original is in D, but since I'm tuned to standard here, I'm just going to refer to everything in this key, the key of E. The only other harmonic information we have is from the bass line, which is laying down more or less, I think, this. So just basically going between E and F and G and then G sharp. So from this we can extrapolate that while we're in E, there's both a minor and major third being played here. These notes here, the G being the minor third, the G sharp being the major third. It's not really major or minor, it's simply E in that typical blues or country manner. The flat second from this riff, the F gives it a really evil edge. Like if we just had the major and the minor third, you can get this more kind of like a traditional country or southern rock thing. But because we've got this F in here, it just gives it that evil edge. While conventional music theory might look at this and go, aha, this is a simple F harmonic minor. We're not in that realm anymore. We're not in Kansas anymore, and where we're going, we don't need modes. I do apologise. But yeah, what I'm getting at here is because of that major minor thing, you'd expect that to be reflected in the lead playing. As a side note, the Phrygian dominant sort of lead would probably sit nicely here as well, given that we've got the root, the flat second, and the major third. The minor third will just add in a little bit of tension. But Dime has gone for more of a traditional blues route here, at least compared to the last 2 licks. We're bending the 4th to the 5th, while sustaining the flat 7th, to imply an E7. Bending to the root, with that kind of 3-peaked vibrato. Then going between the 5th and the flat 5th, the blues note, before coming down the scale with the 4th, a flat 3rd, and back up the same way. 4th, flat 5th, skipping all the way over to the root, which I think sounds really cool. Flat 7th, 5th, flat 5th, 4th, down to the 3rd, flat 3rd I should say, and then repeating that again. So we have the 4th, flat 5th, root, flat 7th, 5th, flat 5th, 4th, bending the 2nd to the minor 3rd with that vibrato, root, 2nd, flat 7th to the root, almost, we kind of bend this up a 3/4 tone, so you're not bending quite to pitch, you're just getting a little bit there. And we have the root, major 3rd, so you can see here we kind of reference that flat 3rd here with that bend. We've played it already whenever we played this 12th fret on the G string, and here we're going for the major third, so it's that mixing the major and minor tonalities, pulling it off to the root, and then bending the flat 7th up to the root to resolve the lick really quite nicely. So like I mentioned there, this is where his playing with the major and minor tonality really shines through. So if I was to try and condense these three licks into a few kind of bullet points, I suppose with the first one we talk about following the chords using the whammy bar, playing a lot more jazzy chords and extending them in different ways than you'd expect, for example using the 6th, and also stacking dyads on top of chords that can then resolve, like that move where we played these notes and had it quite dissonant over the D, but then resolve really nicely when played over the A. The use of chromatic and out notes, resolving to a note that's in key when he wants to keep the solo nice and melodic. On the flip side, if we're looking at the second lick, we've got just out notes and just total dissonance, so he's just using that shape across the scale, almost with a total disregard for key, just to create some sort of angst, some sort of tension. And here we've got really much more bluesy influence playing, using the blues scale, mixing together the major and the minor scales as well, so a bit of country influence coming in, like with the double stops and that sort of thing. And this trick, or specifically this shape where we've got the flat 3rd, the 4th, the 5th, and hopping over to the root, or hopping to the 5th, that's something he does as well, so you have that kind of type of lick, again using the same theory. Check out that video for some more awesome dime tricks. This has been Signature Guitar Licks, that's the playlist there. Yeah, hit subscribe to keep up to date with the channel, leave me a comment, share across social media, check out the tabs on my Patreon, and enable all notifications by ringing that little bell on the side if you feel so inclined. Cheers guys.